Zoinks, Shaggy, now this is a clue. Guys, a little bit over 24 hours ago, Bitcoin avoided a move that could have significantly pushed us below the $10,000 US level. However, it did not. We're going to talk about what that means and why it did not. In fact, out of all scenarios, Bitcoin is choosing to remain on this daily time frame in the scenario that it's basically been in the same movement that it's basically been in. And what I mean by that is slow consolidation even as we approach these key levels that we have in fact been testing since January 27th of 2020. We are still in this muddy, gooey zone. Bitcoin continues to slowly climb. And guys, if you guys look on these smaller time frames, there are so many little scenarios that we could see Bitcoin being pushed below some key levels. However, when you look on these daily time frames, you don't see it happening. You don't see it happening because every time Bitcoin gets to some critical levels that could expand from the smaller time frames to these larger moves on the larger time frames, Bitcoin is in fact not wanting to be rejected. The momentum is building and it is so strong. We have to talk about what this means for the overall picture of Bitcoin going into the next few months and really expanding throughout 2020. And for the longest period since Bitcoin broke out on January 6th, it has traded within this middle channel. 3 times over the past almost 2 months now, Bitcoin has either broke significantly above or broke down and not just traded within this gummy zone. You see it consolidating. We have to talk about what that means as well. And guys, incredibly importantly, this chart right here has so much information on it. This is every single cryptocurrency except Bitcoin. And even going back to the bull run of 2017 into 2018 when altcoins were exploding the first few weeks of 2018, the volume that was there back then is absolutely nothing compared to now. And we have to talk about what this means for the entire altcoin scenario for 2020 and 2021 moving forward. Much more liquidity than has ever been inside of Bitcoin. We have to get a little bit into details with that. They always say don't drink the milk from the source, but I've been doing it my whole life and look at me now. Let's get into this. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another extremely exciting episode. We have so much to talk about in this episode, and we have a few short announcements as well. Guys, before we do though, look at this chart. This is actually kind of summing up Bitcoin lately, okay? What this means is just that resistance after resistance, Bitcoin is building the slow momentum that has been showing so far on this daily and going into the weekly chart as this expands past about a month and a half now of Bitcoin on this uptrend. Significant resistance is being laid down and it's getting harder and harder for Bitcoin to have a big dump. Guys, basically what this means is that this bull run is extremely exciting because it is looking every single day like it is just getting started. And this very moment right now, you could look back and even only like 2 or 3 months from now and think, wow, okay, I wish I would have gotten in even a month or two ago. Because as you guys know, once these prices get popping, it goes crazy. I believe Bitcoin was only above $18,000 for like a few days max. It was barely above those levels. We look at 20,000 as like the top for Bitcoin, but it was never tradable at 20,000. What I mean by that is the price was like, it was absolutely going nuts at those levels. 10,000 US dollars, as you guys might know, was like the highest tradable level for Bitcoin because everything above that, it was just too volatile and it was too fast. You could really not even plan things out. It was just too insane. So guys, so much to get to in this episode. And in fact, because we're actually less than 50 subscribers away from 20,000, in the next video, we'll be giving away 2 of these ledgers. So guys, all you have to do to win these ledgers is leave a comment below. And guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, ding that bell. And as well, we have an exciting altcoin member video coming out today, guys. If you're interested in going into detail with that, just make sure to join that. And as well, another exciting thing, we're actually working this weekend on getting new updated badges for members. That's very cool. So when you comment, you have little cool unique icons. We're working on unique ones to add, guys. Just super exciting stuff. A little fun thing to add to the channel there. It only costs about $1.99 per month. I believe that was the cheapest that we could put it. So extremely awesome, exciting stuff. So guys, many of you might be interested in this, and we can actually start off. We're not going to go into detail with a lot of altcoins in this video. However, I do want to just cover this broad range of topics right here, you guys. So this is the overall crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. So literally every single cryptocurrency except Bitcoin, aka every single altcoin. Now look at this. We go back to 2017, the peak, okay? This was the peak price, and you notice here as well, this was actually the peak volume of back then, okay? Right around this level here. Now we look here, and this is over 4 or 5 times as much volume as we're seeing, okay? Now what does that mean? Really, to sum this up, I'm not gonna make this too lengthy of an explanation, but the volume, the liquidity, the amount of access that people have to obtain altcoins, to obtain crypto in general, to do it easily, fast, and hopefully more securely. However, there's some exchanges out there that we have to kind of keep an eye on. There are so many avenues for this, and basically, why is that good? Why is that good for crypto? Why is that good for Bitcoin? And specifically, why is it good for altcoins? Because guys, this is something I've wanted to talk about in a little more detail. However, I have not. I've kind of kept the mouth shut. But what I want to basically say is this. I have no doubt in my mind that 2020, 2021, whenever this bull run absolutely peaks, I think some of the biggest winners in the space, I think Bitcoin is going to be explosive. But I think altcoins are going to have their heyday. And for one reason alone, this is huge to me, is that Bitcoin was Bitcoin didn't even necessarily win 2017. A lot of people will say Ethereum did. Ethereum went from like a few bucks to over 15, I think it was like $14 or $1,500, okay? Thousands of percentage gains. And some other altcoins did as well, but Ethereum, jumped number 2 spot, absolutely the year of Ethereum, in my opinion, 2017. Now guys, back then, I don't know if you guys remember this, there was not a lot of options to get altcoins. For the most part, what you had to do to get altcoins was to buy Bitcoin and trade that Bitcoin into altcoins. There were very few USD pairs on very many exchanges. So say you wanted to even get a pretty big altcoin like XRP, Litecoin, something like that, you for the most part would need to get Bitcoin first. You wouldn't be able to do it with your native currency, your fiat currency. It would take a little bit longer. It would take long to get into it. Guys, all of these restrictions and on-ramps have been decreased in terms of difficulty. There are many more options for actual exchanges and websites. There's much more information out there. There are much more pairings for these altcoins, so you don't necessarily just have to have Bitcoin. Now, one of the reasons people theorize that Bitcoin jumped from 10K to 20K in such a short amount of time is because, for one, a lot of people were interested in altcoins also, okay? 2017 altcoin boom. And to get these altcoins, you needed Bitcoin. So naturally, if you buy Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to jump, okay? All that buying into Bitcoin, you guys remember what happened at the end of 2017? Let's go back here. This was Bitcoin. It peaked on December 12th. Bitcoin hit 20K on December 12th of 2017, right around this area here. Okay, the first week and a half of December. Now, when did altcoins peak? Let's go over to this chart here. Altcoins didn't peak in terms of their overall cap, this is everything combined, until about a month later, the first week of January. Okay, so let's actually go back here. Back here is about when Bitcoin peaked, and you see altcoins continued to rally, let's see, about a few $100 billion higher than it was as Bitcoin peaked. So if you guys remember this, the first week or so of January was huge for altcoins. Altcoins just exploded, okay? It was massive. Now, Bitcoin peaked. That's what usually happens, what we've seen so far in the past. Bitcoin goes on a tear, okay? And then for a time afterwards on these massive runs, Bitcoin dissolves and trades into these other cryptocurrencies, and they have a run. Literally, there was a week or two in January and December of 2017 and 18 where every single day a different altcoin was up like 10 to 30%. Every single day a different altcoin was pumping. Now, again, heavily that's based on pure speculation, but again, that's just how this market goes when everything goes parabolic. And now, with the increase in on-ramps for altcoins and the access to them, in addition to this massive volume, this massive amount of money waiting on the sidelines to get in or out of these cryptos, I really think altcoins are just going to have a surge because it comes down to this simple fact. It is not as hard to get into altcoins as it was in 2017 and the beginning of 2018. It is significantly easier. There's still room to improve. There's obviously still room to make it easier for these altcoins to get accessible, but overall, it is a million times easier. And as you guys can see, the money waiting on the sidelines that is here and ready to access and pump these alts is greater than has ever been seen. So that's my little spiel here for altcoins. That actually took a significant amount of time, but boy, that was exciting, guys. Altcoins to me, and again, we're going to get into the detailed altcoins in the member video coming later today. Extremely exciting, explosive, okay? Now, I do hesitate because I mainly cover Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the leading indicator for the entire market, obviously. I do need to begin talking about altcoins in more detail because, guys, it makes up a huge portion of the market. About roughly almost 50% of the entire market. Again, keep in mind, Bitcoin still makes up about, I believe it's like 60% of the entire cryptocurrency market. So there's still a high dominance level there. Now, guys, as for Bitcoin, this is what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Now, this is absolutely astonishing to me. Okay, let me play this quick replay and maybe put on some really very chill music. Guys, chill back and watch this quick 20-second lapse, okay? Absolutely huge. So on this small chart, now this is not a big pattern. It's on the 15. You can see it on like the 1 hour, but just for more detail, we have this on the 15-minute chart here. So this is very small time frames. But what happened? We had this consolidation pattern at a key level if we zoom out. Okay, very key level, this whole area right here. Now what happened is we started the symmetrical triangle. We tried to break out. I don't know if you guys remember this, early on February 13th, all the way to 10.5, which is the high. Okay, it literally shot out of here to the high so far of 2020. And it got rejected very fast. You can see that back into this triangle, consolidated. And once again, guys, touched the top here and it tried to break out. It got rejected. And you can see very quickly it fell down here and actually broke out of this triangle. So this was a rejection. Now what we avoided was lower lows. Okay, look at this. We found some support here, a very key level. We found support that could have gone worse. If it broke there, we could have dropped significantly from there, but it held very strongly. You see it bounce very quickly within about a 30-minute period here. Okay, and back up. And again, we're currently still sideways trading here. But now that could have been a big move. But what does this illustrate? This illustrates here that there is a lot of support, and this very small climb that we see going on here, as you can see illustrated here on the daily chart, it is just very robust, and it just wants to continue slowly to get through this very critical area. Okay, now if I want to switch to this, let's actually go back to this chart because this is absolutely key here. What we've been doing for the past few weeks now is trading in this very key level. We've been above the 9,000 and in between the 9,000 and like 10.4 area. Now this is right here were basically the highs of 2019, basically the lower high of 2019 here. This is key to get over. Again, we are still teeter-tottering right at the very tippy top of this channel, of this level right here. So we really want to get above that, but we're still hanging on there. We've been there since January 28th. A few weeks we've been trading in here. Now this is the slow climb here. You see such slow consolidation. Now I don't expect any explosive macro moves on this daily chart until after we get above these levels, and then maybe around like the 11K up. That's when we could start seeing some very big volatility. But as for right now, as you guys can see on this chart, there is a lot of resistance here. But again, we're at the very tippy top of it. So this thing could break out at any point. We want to see the momentum build. But again, it would not be bad if we actually saw a pullback down to some lower levels in the meantime, like we've seen, okay? On this slow climb, we've seen it a few times here. We've seen some significant pullbacks, and we haven't necessarily got one yet on this chart in this box here. So guys, we have to watch that and see what's going on there. But for the most part, we're in like the last of the gooey zone before Bitcoin could get explosive here. Now guys, with Bitcoin getting explosive, we see altcoins across the board been explosive lately as well. Some very top coins in the top 15 up 10 to 20% in a 24-hour period. Tezos, Chainlink, absolutely huge. You guys love those. I've been getting comments about them all the time, so they're definitely going to be included in the alt video. They're kind of like the obvious ones because they're huge. Tezos and Chainlink have been going nuts, and I've been fortunate and happy that I have been invested in them. Not as long as I'd want to, but at least long enough to catch a lot of this action here. And guys, this as well, this upwards channel right here, this honestly, this is what I talked about at the beginning as well. We have now been trading in the middle zone of this since February 5th, 10 days, the longest that we've been in one of these three channels since breaking out on January. Actually, we could start it back on January 3rd before the giant breakout here. But again, we have to see some decision time soon. We've seen the last 3 days we've been pushed down to the bottom of this resistance. You see it increasing here. Okay, the resistance, these levels have been increasing over the past 3 days, but again, we've been pushed down. And if we're able to get back above this channel, you know, at this point, the 10.7, again, big move coming, I think. But we really see a lot of resistance right now, and that's for the reasons we explained a few minutes ago. Just a big, gooey, gummy zone. So guys, it needs to be watched out for. You guys, let me know what you think. That's it for this update. Again, to sum it up, critical level for Bitcoin, but more importantly, I mean, that's why I spent the first like 10 minutes of the video talking about this. Altcoins, huge, okay? Gear up for it. It's going to be big. It could happen extremely fast, and I think 2020 is going to see an altcoin surge. Keep in mind the Bitcoin halving is only months away, and again, will that money flow from Bitcoin? If there's a dump for Bitcoin after the halving or going into the halving, will that flow into the altcoins as well, and will that momentum continue if it does? So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.